Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our top 15 series, we've got something special lined up for you today. I know so many of you have been asking for a customer reviews analysis for this one. Well, we're finally doing it. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer highly recommends a particular network adapter that solved a significant problem in their home. Our reviewer's internet gateway was inconveniently pre-installed directly into an unfinished basement wall, leaving them with no way to physically connect essential devices that require an Ethernet cable, such as their VoIP phone system. The lack of nearby power outlets only complicated the situation further, putting them in a real bind. This Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter, however, proved to be the perfect solution. The client plugged the unit into a standard wall outlet in their second-floor office and began the setup process. They noted that pairing the device with the distant gateway wasn't instantaneous. It involved several trips up and down the stairs to press the WPS buttons on both units. Despite the minor hassle, the effort paid off. The end result was a strong and remarkably steady connection, effectively creating a remote Ethernet port exactly where it was needed. With the adapter successfully linked, our reviewer was able to run the included Ethernet cord to their VoIP adapter, finally getting their landline internet phone system up and running throughout the house. They also found it capable of supporting their fax machine. To maximize outlet space, this client offered a helpful tip. They placed the adapter in the bottom socket, which allowed them to use a three-sided extender in the top socket for other electronics like a backup battery. The experience was so positive that they even recommended this gadget to their internet provider as a potential solution for other customers facing similar logistical challenges.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer was initially quite skeptical about this little gadget, admitting they only tried it because the alternative seemed to be buying a whole new printer. The problem was with an older multifunction printer that, despite being a reliable workhorse for many years, has always had one major flaw: its notoriously poor wireless connectivity. For a long time, our reviewer had managed to get by, even though the printer would frequently lose its connection to their older home network. The situation became a real deal-breaker after a recent upgrade to a much newer and more powerful home router. At that point, the old printer simply refused to connect at all, rendering its wireless features completely useless. Faced with the frustrating prospect of having to replace an otherwise perfectly good machine, this client decided to give this Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter a try as a last-ditch effort. The setup process was surprisingly straightforward. The device had no trouble linking up with the new router almost immediately. Once connected, a simple Ethernet cable was all it took to bridge the gap from the adapter to the printer's network port. The result was an immediate and impressive success. The printer is now back online, responding quickly to print jobs without any of the old connection drops or issues. It has been working flawlessly ever since, effectively breathing new life into older hardware and saving our reviewer from an unnecessary and costly replacement. This small device proved to be a simple and effective solution to a very frustrating problem.
Awesome. Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer encountered a minor hiccup initially, as setting up the internet connection via WPS proved unsuccessful. It simply refused to connect using that method. However, the alternative setup process using a web browser worked flawlessly. This client found the instructions provided to be remarkably clear and easy to follow, which made the browser setup a breeze. A reviewer's setup involves placing this adapter roughly 25 feet away from the main wireless router. While the direct wireless speed test registered around 270 Mbps, using this Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter resulted in a noticeable drop to approximately 90 Mbps. Despite this reduction in speed, our reviewer emphasizes that 90 Mbps is still more than adequate for their intended purpose. For the specific tasks this client needs to accomplish, the speed provided by the adapter is perfectly sufficient. Taking everything into consideration, this reviewer wholeheartedly recommends this Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter. Despite the initial WPS issue and the speed reduction compared to a direct wireless connection, the ease of setup via web browser, the clear instructions, and the ultimately sufficient speed make it a worthwhile purchase. especially for those seeking a reliable wired connection in situations where running Ethernet cables directly isn't feasible or desirable.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.